The Larry O'Brien Trophy is what it's all about. Welcome back to NBA Countdown, coming to you live from Pier 17 at the Heineken River Deck. And Maria Taylor alongside Paul Pierce. We've got Adrian Wojnarowski, Jay Will, and Jalen Rose here with you. As you just heard, the Heat are down 2-0, Game 3. And, of course, they have a fighter's mentality, but we've seen it all before, Jalen, when it comes to this. So far, the Lakers have owned a double-digit lead for 61% of the time of this series. What do you expect to see in Game 3?
I expect to see more dominant LeBron James driving to the basket and continuing to finish at the hoop and getting points in the paint. And joining an exclusive company, LeBron James will be the fourth player to have 4 regular season MVPs and 4 finals MVPs. The other 3, MJ, Kareem, Bill Russell. How about that for the greatness of LeBron James?
Glad you guys have finally put him in that conversation. Look, they took 47 threes. They're gonna dissect the zone. They're gonna dissect the zone. This series, without Bam Adebayo or Goran Dragic, this series is over.
Yeah, you guys summed it up. I'm just looking forward to just continuing to watch the greatness of LeBron and AD take another step toward ring number 4 LeBron and AD finally getting this first one. Rondo, I'm just appreciating all the greatness I'm able to watch with these guys.
Well, Woj, Jay Will just mentioned it. Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo, they've already been ruled out for Game 3. What's the latest about their status?
Yeah, both players, I think without Miami somehow finding a way to win Game 3 tonight, which we know is going to be really difficult without those two, we may not see them in this series now. If they're down 3-0, both Adebayo and Goran Dragic, at that point, Miami may just sit them for a Game 4. But both have wanted to play. They're both still trying to rehab it. But down 3-0, how much sense would it make for the Heat?
All right, the Lakers looking for a championship for the first time since 2010. Fellas, I'm proud of you for moving the ball quickly because we got to make time for the commissioner. Adam Silver will be joining us on NBA Countdown live from the...
Well, LeBron James is averaging close to a 30-point triple-double in these NBA Finals, but it's Anthony Davis that leads all players in points, rebounds, blocks, and field goal percentage. So I want all of you guys to answer this question, but Chuck, let's start with you. Who do you think is going to win Finals MVP? Let's go Chuck, C-Web, and Grant on this one in that order.
Well, I just want to say first, I want to congratulate Jared Greenberg on his anniversary. I talked to his wife, Morgan. She said, being married to Jared is like a walk in the park. Jurassic Park. She's glad he's in the bubble. She is so glad he's in the bubble.
Oh, man, that is so wrong, Chuck. We thought you were being nice, to Jared, but you just threw him under the bridge talking about Jurassic Park.
Hey, listen, I love half man, half makeup. He's the best guy we got.
You think Jared puts more gel in his hair or makeup on, Chuck? That's the last question I got for that one then.
Hey, let me tell you something. If I knew what gel he used, I would invest in that company. So let me tell you something. How many shipments of gel you think he got into the bubble?
Jared's here to defend himself.
I love you,
Let's
Jared.
do this together, Chuck. I love you too,
Yes,
Chuck.
let's do it. Hey, listen, Mr. Miles, can you repeat Anthony Davis' stats to me again, what you just said?
Okay, he's leading the Finals in points, rebounds, blocks, and field goal percentage, and that includes 60% from three-point range and 33 points per game, Chuck. 11.5 rebounds.
So is that a trick question you're asking me, who gonna get it or who deserves it?
Who is going to win
if anybody, I'm saying, if anybody else in the world had those stats you just said, you would not be asking me that question. So listen, I think it's the sentimental vote is gonna go to LeBron because he's amazing, number one. But listen, the reason the Lakers gonna win the championship, and like I say, I don't think this is new to anybody else. Anthony Davis, if we knew if he played like this, they were going to win the championship all along. So I think Anthony Davis deserves it, but I think the sentimental vote is going to go to LeBron.
C-Web, your turn.
I have to agree with the Chuckster. Chuckster-damus. He can definitely predict the future. I definitely agree. AD, and I want to say he has a lifetime career average in the playoffs of plus 30. 30 points a career average in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think you have to give it to them. Without him, this team doesn't go that way. We've seen them not make the playoffs last year. We've seen that, he just dominates it. The teams don't have a guy to fit his, skill set, his size. And just to end with one very, very important point. I told Morgan not to marry Jared. I told her that she was pretty, that she was smart. I told her not to do it, so I just want to say, Morgan, congratulations on dealing with him for a year. He outkicked his coverage. We're proud of him for that, and happy anniversary to you.
Hey, Jared, I'd be remiss if I didn't say happy anniversary as well. I met Morgan in Chicago, and she's just a great person overall. Grant, we got to get to you on this. Sorry you had to wait so long.
I feel like I'm taking body shots right now.
Who is your Finals MVP, Grant?
Well, first of all, I will agree with Chris and Chuck again. It'll be LeBron. I mean, I think the only way AD gets MVP if he averages 50 and 40 these next two games, because the narrative will be LeBron. Look, LeBron, all the talk of AD in Game 2, and tremendous as he played, LeBron had 33, 9, and 9. And so if we were to end it right now, as great as AD's been, I do think LeBron gets the MVP. And one other thing I just want to say, I had a chance to meet Morgan as well in Chicago. And hey, Bert, put the camera back on me so we can see. And so when I met her, Bert, come back to me, Bert.
Come on back,
producer. Bert. Yeah, okay. So when I met Morgan and Jared, I was in disbelief that Jared actually married her. I had to snap my fingers. I thought she was in a trance and tried to wake her. I said, "Wake up!" But in all seriousness, though, Jared and Morgan, congratulations, 1 year. That's an awesome accomplishment. I want to wish you guys plenty more years of wedding bliss. But wake up, Morgan.
Hey, Jared, we're sticking with you on this.
She's still sleeping. She's still sleeping.
Hey, Jared, since it's all about you right now in the rings, we're sticking with you on the ring conversation. LeBron James obviously chasing his 4th ring and his 10th finals appearance, but he's also chasing that finals MVP. Want to hear from you guys, and how important do you think that is for LeBron? I mean, you're around him every day now. You're getting extra access to just, the inner workings of this team, but winning a 4th finals MVP, is that as important to him as winning a 4th championship?
Well, I've checked into this and asked a lot of people around the Lakers, and they swear that is not what's important. I would tend to personally disagree. I think that this is very important to LeBron. But I also will counter what the guys were talking about with the narrative here. The MVP voting process we have in the NBA, there's only 5 ballots that go out to members of the media. So it's not like you've got hundreds of people. There was 101 people who voted on the regular season MVP. This is not going to be about narrative. If Anthony Davis leads in all 5 stat categories after a 4-game sweep, I'm telling you, Anthony Davis is going to win Finals MVP.
Well, Jared, I say the MVP is Morgan by far, for sure. That's who gets my vote. But other than Morgan in the bubble right now, I'm going with Grant Hill. I'm going with LeBron James. There's no way he's not getting his MVP. And I think Anthony Davis, like Charles and C. Webb said, is probably at this moment playing better. But I think when you look at it right now, guy's averaging close to a triple-double, only 2 turnovers. His numbers are not Anthony Davis, but I think everybody's going to go with LeBron James, picking him and selecting him as the MVP.
So, Chuck, you don't think that the 5 reporters who will be voting here will look at the games in front of them here?
Well, Jared, Chris gave me those numbers. If a guy's leading in every statistical category, he probably should be the Finals MVP. I mean, listen, I think it's listen, I didn't know he was leading in every single category. But one last thing I got to say. I talked to Morgan again, and we were talking about the vowels. She said to me,
oh my God.
She said this to me last week, Jared. You know the part where they said to death do your part? She says, damn, he's still alive. She didn't know you were going to be alive this long.
The life insurance at Turner is not all that good.
I feel like your day was better a year ago, Jared, than it is right now.
Yeah,
well,
no question.
Let's get this train back on the tracks here, Chuck. And looking at the Lakers and the ability for this team to hold the lead and win, they're 54-0 so far this season. That includes the playoffs. When leading after 3 quarters, if they continue to do that, they'll be the first team in NBA history to never lose a game, win ahead after 3 quarters. What does that tell you about how this team is able to close out games and their mindset in close games as well?
Well, number one, I just want to thank you, Chris, for having more useless knowledge. And I'm used to Ernie having those stats that are useless in your head. So if they got the lead at the end of 3 quarters now, we should not even play the 4th quarter. You and Ernie are the best at useless knowledge. You know what? Listen, well, listen, I think in the history of basketball, I had 2 guys like LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I mean, these guys, LeBron's on the Mount Rushmore of the NBA. And listen, Anthony Davis is only 27 years old. I think going to play with LeBron, getting his first championship, gonna kick his confidence. And Grant, C-Webb, and Smitty all know as players. There's a point as a player, whether it's in high school, college, and the NBA, there's a moment somewhere along the way you start believing I'm better than everybody else. And listen, I think Anthony Davis, something has kicked in, and now once he gets his first championship, his confidence is going to be on a whole nother level. So it's going to be very interesting watching this team play, not just these next 2 games, but for the next 5 years. Because LeBron still, we don't. At some point, Father Time going to catch up. But Anthony Davis, I'm not even sure he's in his prime yet. I think he probably got another couple years where his mind and his body all comes together, and then he just like, I'm the best player in the world, and there's nothing these other guys can do about it.
Well, you see the synergy between Anthony Davis and LeBron James on your screen. That's 8 games in the postseason with 25 points and over 50% from the field for both of those guys. So, Grant, recently Dwayne Wade actually chimed in on Twitter saying, like, he agrees that Anthony Davis compliments LeBron James better than any teammate he's ever had. That includes Kyrie and Dwayne when he says it in that way. Do you